I'm going to kick us off in this next section by talking about diversity, equity and inclusion. These initiatives, right, they're a wasteful racket, it's been found, costing taxpayers £557 million, if I can speak, a year, which Ben Leo probably thinks is pocket change. Now, I say it's about time that government have actually noticed this. Most of these schemes are rubbish. They're full of divisive concepts like unconscious bias, white privilege, and often actually make tensions worse. So these employers virtue signalling with these knee-jerk DEI efforts without evidence that they work, it's shocking. And I think it's absolutely right for Kemi Badenoch to highlight this. But I think she could have gone further. She should actually say that we ought to highlight merit in this country. Merit should matter, not immutable characteristics.
Well, look, obviously merit is very important, it's critical, but the problem is that for so long, people from certain backgrounds, certain minority groups, certain walks of life have not had the chance for their merit and their talent to rise to the top. And that's why I think it's so important that we have these kind of things. You know, go back 40 or 50 years and don't tell me that a woman in the office was going to get a fair bite at the cherry to progress in her career. Don't tell me that 30 years ago there weren't any black people that were capable of running FTSE 100 companies. Of course there were people intellectually capable of that, but the opportunities weren't there because there was prejudice towards them, and that's why this is important.
More people of ethnic minorities than you may think actually think this is total tokenistic nonsense, and actually they don't find it progressive.
Well,
I think that, you know, it's very easy for white liberals to say, oh yes, we need to give everyone a helping hand up the ladder and all this through these types of schemes, through quotas, etc., etc. But actually, if you talk to people who are from ethnic minority backgrounds, they often don't think those things.
All right.
All right, Albie.
I will give my opinion on behalf of all ethnic minority
well, you
people
can't.
in the country, apparently. Look, I think there's truth in actually what both of you are saying. Some of this stuff is quite tokenistic. It is quite, you know, oh, well, if there's one black person in the room, we've solved the problem. And then, on the other hand, we do know that there have historically been disparities that need to be closed. But I do think we do have to get to a point in society where we say we have equality under the law, what more can the state actually do to solve this problem? And that's why I think Kemi Badenoch is actually doing something quite interesting here, because she's talking about things like rainbow lanyards, for example. I think they stopped some funding to some rainbow lanyards programme in the NHS, and it's something that a lot of LGBT groups are quite angry about. And I say to them, look, I can't say I'm that angry about it because I would just expect if I go to a hospital or to go and see my GP that they are not going to be homophobic, the same way that I expect them not to be racist. So I don't need my GP to wear a Black Lives Matter symbol for me to know they're not racist. So why would I need them to wear a rainbow lanyard for me to know that they're not homophobic?
But, Ben, we have discovered, right, that £557 million of taxpayer money has been spent by the taxpayer on these DEI industries, essentially, to leech off the taxpayer. As a significant taxpayer yourself, do you think that's a good use of taxpayer money?
No, it's just all a scam. As Albie has said, we've got laws now protecting this kind of thing these days. Benjamin was talking about 30 and 40 years ago. Hello,
yeah, I know,
it's 2024. We've moved on.
But how did we move on? We moved on because we recognised the problem and we understood that we had to level the playing field.
DEI wasn't around 30 and 40 years ago.
The Equality Act is what enshrines all of this into law. That's been there since 2010.
Exactly, and we have seen a massive improvement. The number of women in senior posts, the number of ethnic minorities running big businesses, having senior posts in the NHS, has considerably improved.
Do you not think that is a natural progression, though, rather than because of DEI diversity and inclusion exercises in workplaces?
I think both things
it's
happen.
because this country allows people to succeed, whatever background you come from, in terms of your ethnicity. But, you know, I went to school with a very diverse group of young women, and they all have done extraordinarily well. Their parents did extraordinarily well too. In this country, I think sometimes you're pretending like we're living decades ago. Actually, some ethnic minorities are at the highest of industries in this country.
And also, this DEI stuff isn't just about equality and, you know, black people and gay people. It's about absolute nonsense. For example, calling women womb owners or birth givers and all that kind of nonsense. It's not just about the standard kind of equality we'd expect. It's descended into an absolute farce.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.